it's your girl Adeola. First of all, my people, I'm finally ready to move back to Nigeria. Yes, precisely Kaduna State. And I think I'll change my indigenous state to Kaduna. My dear, get me all other governors on speed dial. If we are talking about drinking palm wine, you can bring him up. At least give me the ones that pretend to be busy. What's up, my governors? In case you are a Nigerian governor and you're watching me, exactly what are you all looking at? What are you looking at? Whoa. When the governor of Kaduna is doing gudu meje ya mefa. Translate that for them. You don't know. Yeah, I thought so. I will tell you what it means. The man has not only declared free education in his state, he's also feeding students in his state. We all know that he's arresting parents who fail to let their children go to school. Do you know what that means? He's securing the future of Kaduna citizens. Very soon, Kaduna will be the most literate state in Nigeria. Sit down there. I'm very happy for them. I'm already changing my indigenous states to Kaduna. On top of that, the man last week commissioned Kia cars, brand new cars, as taxis in Kaduna State. It's like, what have we done now in our own state? I hear people saying that el-Rufai is just trying to become the next president. I said, shoo, don't you think that people would vote for him if he does well as a governor? If you're a governor, you all have equal chance to show us what you can do. Making me upset? Better get your acts together, Ojare. Driving Kia as taxi in Kaduna. Kaduna Unibaje. Forget about the enemies of progress. This man is really trying, Unlike some governors that are busy drinking palm wine, buying palm oil. Fire share, that is God. And while we're talking about governors, yes, finally, we have an elected female governor in Nigeria, Senator Aisha Al-Hassan of Taraba State. Oh, well, I'm not gonna cry. Oh my God. So many African countries have overtaken us though in this area. Liberia has a female president. Malawi had a female president. Central African Republic has a female president. It's taken us a while in Nigeria, but we're finally making progress. This woman won the election and some enemies of progress tried to rig the election. Can you imagine? Thank God that the tribunal has declared her the rightful winner of that election. Now this gives me hope that myself can someday become the first lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Woo! One day when the glory comes. By the way, she's one of the ministers sworn in by Mr. President Obiso, Minister of Women Affairs. So is she combining the two, or hey, stuffs are happening in Nigeria? I need to know. Anyway, yes, I heard that Mr. President is also combining petroleum minister with presidency. Anyway, we'll find out. Now, still in celebration mode, I am so proud of the Golden Eaglets. As you guys know by now, Nigeria won the Under-17 World Cup. Yes, I knew it. I knew that we could do it. I can't believe that we beat America. We beat America, we beat Brazil, we beat Mexico, Mali, that is God. Can somebody wake up the Super Eagles though? Because those ones, they are not impressing anybody anymore. Since they got a new coach, I heard that the two players have quit. Emmanuel Emenike, I said, hey, whoa. And then Vincent Nyoma, hey, my dear, get me the coach on speed dial. What? He's not on speed dial. Is it that he doesn't have my number or I don't have his number? Hey, my dear, you better do your job. Hey, they need to wake up. They need to get their acts together. Someone sent me this photo that the first time that Nigeria won the Under-17 World Cup was in 1985 when Buhari was the head of state. I said, wow, what a coincidence. So he was overthrown shortly after taking this picture. And here is the photo of him this year when he was trying to communicate with the Golden Eaglet before the final match. And speaking of Buhari, my Oga, Mr. President, things are not going well. You are not going well. Have you not heard that the Nigerian economy has nosedived since you came in power? Last week was the worst that Nigeria has ever experienced since the recession that happened in 2008. We're doing too much of appointing. It is becoming disappointing when the economy keeps going down. When would we start working? It's been 6 months. 6 months, Yoshumefa. Better get your acts together, my Oga. I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Yes, Benny. By the way, why did the APC lawmakers say they don't want to be paying unemployed graduates 5,000 naira every month pending the time that they are looking for jobs? Can you guys imagine how much is 5,000 naira now? How much is it? Come on, $25. Whoa, what is wrong with these lawmakers? And one of them just bought a Rolls Royce that costs $450,000. Can you imagine? Come on, $25. What is wrong with these lawmakers? Who is it now? Hello. Who are you? APC agent. How did you get my number? Huh? Corridor, have you been messing around? How did this person get... Hello, how can I help you? I'm shooting a show. Can we talk after the service? Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa. Che, hey. It is like that. But didn't you know the budget before you made the promise? Look at these people. Can you imagine my people? That was an APC member trying to explain this whole thing away. Can you imagine telling me that the APC lawmakers did not support the motion because 2015 is almost over and they are operating with the budget that the former president Goodluck Jonathan had in place for 2015, the budget that was approved in January of this year. So he's telling me that they are waiting for the 5,000 naira to be added to the 2016 budget before they will start paying the money. Hence why they released the statement that they will still fulfill their promise. But you know what I don't understand is you knew the budget that Jonathan approved before you made the promise that you made now, because you said that as soon as you win the election you will start paying the money. No be so. Now you are telling us stories, and waiting for January's budget. How do we know that when January comes you won't be telling us another story? APC, I'm watching you live and direct on Plasma TV. My dear, what are people saying about this 5,000 naira? It's either these guys pay us 5k or we force them to jump another gate involuntarily this time. Yeah, so they must pay by fire by force. And this person said Nigeria is broke, but over 400 billion naira was paid to the oil marketers. We can see how broke we are. APC Nigeria, just pay us our 5k. That's all. My brother, that's all. I hear you, Jare, coming up with stories now that they can't work with the 2015 budget. They wait to 2016. They are trying to tell us that there is no money. And this person is saying they paid 400 billion naira to oil marketers. At least we are paying our lawmakers now. Maybe the lawmakers can even do us a favor and say, don't pay us salary for the next 2 months. Just pay these graduates that are unemployed. This person said we should be talking about job creation. 5k is the issue. Yeah, so I hope that we're talking about job creation and not just this 5k. It is very, very important because as much as this 5k would be useful for people, we need to talk about job creation. Thank you, Jari. And for those that are saying, oh, 5,000 will make people lazy. How much is 5,000? What can you buy with 5,000 naira? I don't think so. But I do know that it could go a long way in helping people. Even if it's for them to buy credits, it's better than young people resorting to armed robbery. And you know, this can even reduce crime rates when they know that 5,000 is coming from somewhere, Abi. And it will boost the economy. No, be so they will spend the money now. Although I do think there should be a limitation in terms of how long people will be paid. People should be entitled to the 5,000 naira maybe for a year or two. Having a limited time of giving it will give people an incentive to find a job by fire by force or start a business. But you know, that aside, why is the Senate President Oga Saraki trying so hard to prevent the court from hearing his case? Like, why? I don't understand. Why is he appealing to the Supreme Court to stop the proceedings? The tribunal refused and his lawyers walked out. Did you guys hear about that? They walked out in protest. I said, now wow. I know that the tribunal is supposed to wait for the Supreme Court's decision on whether they should continue or not. In my opinion, they're just trying to prevent justice. Oga Saraki, is not fair. Mr. Man, if you are innocent like you've been saying on Twitter, what are you afraid of? What exactly are you afraid of now? At least let's hear what the judge would say. You say that you are innocent, you are fighting corruption, and you're running back and forth trying to prevent justice. There is God though in everything that you are doing. You guys know I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Burundi, this is one of those stories that breaks my heart on a whole nother level. How in the world can a president call himself a born-again Christian, married to a so-called pastor, and you are killing people, your own people? Does that... As you all know, he contested for third term by fire by force despite massive protests and outcries, even by international bodies, clamping down on protesters left and right. And according to the UN, at least 200 people have been killed since April of this year, all because the man wants to remain in power by fire by force. He was president for 10 years, by the way, and after he rigged that election and declared himself the president for the third time, he's still practicing arbitrary arrest and extrajudicial killings on his own people. This is a country that just came out of civil war. So now the guy has completely gone nuts. He's made himself a total dictator. As you guys know, people have been protesting since he rigged that election. So for days, he announced that people should stop protesting, stop opposing him, and surrender whatever weapons they have with them. I'm telling you, hundreds of people fled the country. And he gave them a deadline of last week Sunday. Now, a lot of people have become refugees in other other countries because of the fear of Mr. President. In fact, while police were raiding people's homes, 9 people were killed even before the deadline that he gave them of last Sunday. And once the deadline came, he continues to kill people. Already they killed 12 people. I've heard that people are now scratching out their house numbers so that it will make it difficult for them to be found. Apparently, they will say go and kill so this is his or her home address. So people are now putting paint over their house numbers so that they won't be able to locate them. In this picture, these are policemen raiding the streets looking for anybody that may want to rise against Mr. President. Now, this man that you're looking at was shot 3 times in the leg because of his political stand against Mr. President. And this person's body was actually mutilated. His heart was removed. They just found his body laying there. Like this man in this picture, so many policemen that have refused to cooperate with Mr. President are now living in fear. And you know, it's not just the policemen. Their family members are also being threatened. If a policeman refuses to cooperate, they not only target him, they also target his family members. Now, this picture is actually a relative of a police officer that refused to cooperate with Mr. President, and that officer was killed mysteriously. They still don't know how he died. So his family members are also being targeted. This lady in this picture that refused to show her face is actually looking for how to escape and leave the country. It's now common for people to wake up and discover things like this. You know, you will just see burnt cars with people in it, burnt to death. You wake up and you hear that somebody else has been killed. You know, all that tells me that this president did not learn from what happened during the Civil War. You would think that at the age of 51, he would have some common sense. How does this make you feel good about yourself when you're killing your own people? And that's his wife. Lord have mercy. This woman is a huge disappointment to humanity overall. My sister, how can you call yourself a pastor and your husband is killing people? She's still pastoring you. You know, she's still pastoring a church. I said, pastor my food. And if you want us to believe that you are not collaborating with your husband, at least say it publicly that you denounce what he's doing. You kill your own people and then you go to church to preach. What kind of Christianity are you practicing? Making me upset? You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And moving on to Kenya, can you believe that evil spirits closed down a school? Apparently, Itimani Primary School in Kitui County has been closed indefinitely due to an alleged attack on pupils by evil spirits. Let's take a look.
Itimani Primary School in Kitui County has been closed temporarily due to an alleged attack on pupils by evil spirits. Irate parents on Tuesday marched to the institution and took their children home following confusion that had engulfed the school.
What? Okay.
The parents noted that the pupils were gripped by fear and anxiety whenever they saw their colleagues suffer from time to time from trances like seizures, which she said were impeding their concentration in class.
Let's hear some more now. What is wrong with you?
Parents and the school's administrations are said to have, on several occasions in the past, called in pastors to pray for the students and exorcise the spirits, after which things seemed to cool down until a few days when the nightmare struck again.
Hey, can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is weird, but I thought I would let you guys know about this incident. I'm not sure exactly what to say about this. Hopefully they can drive out the evil spirit as soon as possible. I can only wish them well. Nobody would want his or her child in such an environment. Hopefully they can sort this out in an amicable way and these students can go back to school. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I read emails, I just want to thank everybody that reached out to me after last week's episode, encouraging me about the foundation. I was so surprised by the response that I got from a lot of people. I was like, oh my God, people are willing to help. Somebody reached out to me from Texas that she wants to be a volunteer in Texas. I'm like, yes. I was also able to get in touch with someone in Kansas that has a shipping company and he's willing to help us in shipping stuff to Nigeria. I'm like, oh, thank God. Somebody else said he has access to medical supplies. Somebody else said he has access to book supplies. I'm like, thank you so much. So if you're willing to volunteer, please send an email to info@KIRWAfoundation.org with details on how you can help us. So I just want to thank you so much for all of you that have reached out, that you're willing to volunteer or that you know how we can get supplies. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. An organization also reached out to me that they're trying to give scholarship to African students here. I'm like, yes. So we'll be able to work together. I'm so excited. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Before I leave today, I like to read some of your emails, and the first one is from Orim Jimate from California, and he says, hi Adeola, this issue of BVN for those outside Nigeria is really sucking us negatively. In California, we don't have any BVN center. Can you imagine? California is big enough to be a country on its own. You guys know that, right? I just wish that CBN would know that. My suggestion is for CBN to ask all those outside Nigeria to change their bank addresses to their respective international addresses so that we can manage our accounts till whenever we come to Nigeria. God bless. Thank you so much, my brother. He makes a lot of sense. Like I told you, GT Bank told me that because I changed my address to my New York address, that I don't have to worry about doing the BVN registration thing until whenever I come home. So I wish all banks would just do that for all their customers abroad. I mean, some people don't plan on coming home before this January deadline either, and they don't have any BVN center in the country where they live. So thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate it. And the next email is by Stuna Yenvel from Dubai. And this person said, hi, Adeola, you know, do well. Oh yeah, come close. Let me tell you something. My brother, you've been watching a lot of Keeping It True, eh? Come closer. Let me talk with you. Anyway, Zenith Bank has blocked all the cards in Dubai. Why? I called them and they said it's because they've been realizing some unusual activities in this region. They never sent us an email informing us of the actions, and now we are all here stuck with no way to access our account. Okay, this is weird. They just... What? They seriously just blocked all your cards in Dubai? So if you're living in Dubai and you have a Zenith Bank card, you can no longer use it? Like, what? Did they give you any warning? Now wow, Nigeria. Also, while I was on phone with them, I asked exactly how much their exchange rate is, and they didn't know. That's GT Bank and Zenith Bank. I asked how much do you charge for each withdrawal, and they don't know. So if I use my POS, do I get charged? They don't know. This is very shameful, and I think that the banks need to upgrade their services. If they don't have answers to these simple questions, how will they handle real problems? Wow, thank you so much, my brother. You know, I've also realized that whenever I use my GT Bank card here in New York, I get charged like ridiculous amounts. It's like I'm being charged by GT Bank and also the bank here in the US. I'm being charged on both sides. At the end of the day, you don't really get much from your money by the time you're done withdrawing, especially since they limited the amount we can withdraw to $300 per day. Can you imagine? So we are paying like $30-something for ATM alone, and you can only withdraw $300. So it is ridiculous. Having said that though, I don't know, maybe it's the person that you spoke with. There has to be somebody at the bank that will know exactly how much they charge for withdrawals. So my brother, please keep trying. And when you find out, let me know, because I'm also trying to find out exactly how much they charge me. I look at the receipt, I said, money don't finish. Anyway, thank you for writing. And the next email is from somebody that asked to be anonymous. And this person said, hi Adeola. The problem of Igbo people is that they seem to forget that there's an adage that says Igbo envies, meaning Igbo does not have leadership. Every Igbo wants to be in charge. Being an Igbo person and knowing how they behave, if they were actually given independence, there would be war within themselves, because they will start fighting about which state the president should come from. That is just a little fact there. However, I relate to Igbo people's frustration on how they were being treated by Nigerian government, but violence is not the answer. Thank you so much for writing. I really appreciate all that you said. And this issue of Biafra is, you know, like I said last week, a lot of people called me prostitute as expected. So it's a very, very sensitive issue to talk about. But I really appreciate this email. Thank you so much for writing. And the last email is from Onyedikachi Nwokedi. And this person said, hi, Adeola. I'm Igbo 100%. And I'm very ashamed of what my brother Nnamdi Kanu is doing. He's trying to cause an unrest which might last for a long time. Just when we started hearing less of Boko Haram, now we have a tyrant in the making. I like to say that 80% of Igbo people are against Radio Biafra and Nnamdi's violent utterances. My fellow Biafrans, Buhari will be the president for at least the next 4 years, so stop complaining and cooperate with his administration so we can be part of the great change that he's trying to bring to Nigeria. Anyway, some might say I don't know what I'm talking about, but guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Peace out. Oh, my brother, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think he said it all. Hopefully Nigerians can unite. Hopefully we'll see the change that Oga Buhari promised. So that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.